Hi, my name is Kira Pritchard. I am a senior at Apex High School. I would like to be a chef when I grow up, and I'm very excited to be sitting here with Maggie Kane. Maggie Kane is a difference maker in our community and our honoree in the category of entrepreneurship. A Place at the Table is the first pay-what-you-can cafe in downtown Raleigh and has served more than 11,000 meals to people in need. As a founder and executive director of A Place at the Table, Maggie Kane has demonstrated her passion for community, inclusivity, and bringing people together over healthy and affordable meals. What motivated you to become a difference maker?
Wow, that is such a great question. For years I never really even thought about that. I just thought about what my passion was. I grew up in Raleigh, and I grew up here, and so grateful to have grown up here. And I always grew up loving people. People are my passion, and so in everything I did, I wanted to make sure people felt loved and cared for. So I don't know if I ever actually thought, am I a difference maker or not? I just knew I wanted to love people and do everything possible to connect with people, make them feel loved, and make a difference in people's lives by making them feel loved. And so growing up, I volunteered a lot at different nonprofits around Raleigh, and I got involved in different clubs in high school that were doing service work. Similarly, also I got involved in nonprofits like that in college, and I just wanted to be around people because I love people.
I truly love how you turn that into like a business that brings people together and just uplifts the entire community and stuff like that. How did you turn that idea into the business it is?
I have no idea. A lot of Googling, a lot of great people helped this and were involved in this. As I'm growing up here, I knew I wanted to be a part of people's lives, and as I said, I volunteered a lot and got to know people. And as I was growing up, I saw that I'd volunteer at the soup kitchen, and I saw and always questioned and wondered why I was serving at the soup kitchen and serving in food banks children who looked just like me. And so I'd be standing in line, or I'd be serving this food, and people would be standing in line, and I always wondered why there were kids who looked just like me, and why I was on that opposite side of the line. And then we'd quickly, serve the food or hand the box to a family, and then we'd go and we would go to some nice restaurant and eat whatever we wanted. And that always stuck with me from that moment. So then fast forward, I get involved in a lot of different organizations and places in high school and college. And then in college, I started volunteering for a day shelter, working with people experiencing homelessness. And it was at this day shelter that I fell in love with so many of the folks I was meeting there, and fell in love with their stories, and got to know their hopes and dreams, and they got to know mine. And so for me, getting to know people is getting to know people over food. And so I would go eat with them, and eating with people in poverty meant eating at the soup kitchen or eating in similar places like that. And I saw at the soup kitchen that it was so different than my life experience, where I can go eat wherever I want to eat, however long I want to eat, and with someone, and really just get to know them over food. And so I started taking people out for meals, and I saw that they wanted to go to places with two things: where they felt seen and heard, and then where they had choice. And so it was in that moment where I'm sitting in this popular restaurant in Raleigh with someone experiencing homelessness, and I said, we've got to do something different. And so I Googled everything. I Googled everything from nonprofits to restaurants to ways to make people feel seen and heard, and found the pay what you can system, and said, if other places can do this, then Raleigh can too. If there are other cities that can have an awesome restaurant that brings all people together, then Raleigh, this cool city I grew up in, can too.
Is there any, specific person story that stuck with you and that you still remember or still know the person?
Yeah, absolutely. So many. My friend John, I was really, really close to. John was, when I first met him, he happened to be living on the streets. He lived in a tent southeast of Raleigh, and I got to know each other. We became friends. We would eat in the soup kitchen together. and then we started going out for meals. And so it was John's birthday, and we went out to one of his favorite restaurants, and I asked John, I said, John, why do we always come here? And he said, Maggie, because when we walk in, there are multiple people that greet me, they acknowledge me, they say hello, they see me, and then two, I get to choose. I get to choose if I want a salad, or if I want a buffalo chicken sandwich, and I get to make that choice. Living in poverty, people see you as they walk right by you. You're invisible, and people make every choice for you, whether it's what you eat to where you sleep. And so there's value in that. And, John had, prior to living on the streets for that short period of time, he had a great job, ironically in a restaurant, but the restaurant closed down, and he couldn't get another job. He tried really, really hard, but his lights turned off, and then he got evicted. And so then he ended up on the streets, and he ended up in this cycle of poverty. And once you're in the cycle of poverty, it's really hard to get out of it. And so John then was experiencing homelessness for quite a few months, but we developed this great friendship, and he just light bulbed this moment in my head that said, yes, we've got to do this for all the Johns of the world who we all could be John. We all are one step away from poverty. And John now is living in New York City and works for Broadway in some smaller shows, and works in restaurants. So yeah, absolutely. And then so many other people just like John.
How has COVID-19 affected A Place at the Table?
Whew, yeah. We have had to pivot and adjust every single day. It has been crazy. Prior to COVID, we were a regular restaurant. You walked in and you saw a big menu with suggested prices, and you could pay the price, pay more, pay less, or volunteer for your meal. And so we saw about 60 to 70 people a day volunteering for their meal, and many more people paying less for their meal. As soon as COVID hit, we had to turn that upside down and go all outside, and set up all different protocols and practices to be COVID safe. And so we are doing curbside. We've had to limit our days and times that we're open. We don't have any volunteers, which has been a huge cut for us, because volunteerism for us as community is we are bringing all different people together to build this community inside the cafe. And so we're doing all curbside, and instead of about 60 to 70 free meals a day, we're serving about 300 free meals a day to people in our community that really just need a meal. We're seeing a lot more people come in and pay what they can. I said to my team in March, right when COVID hit, if you ever needed a pay what you can cafe, you need it now, because times are hard, and sometimes all you have is just a few dollars to pay for your meal.
So if you're serving that many more like free or lower priced meals, how have you guys stayed open and maintained that?
Yeah, our team is phenomenal. Our staff is so great. I am a huge proponent in find good people who are a lot better than you. And so the team has just, I think number one, the team has rallied around this and wanted to be open and stay open and do everything they can to feed and build community on Hargett Street where we are. And then also this community support. A Place at the Table only exists because people in this community. From the moment we opened, Wake County and Raleigh really held us up. They supported us. And the cool part about A Place at the Table is everyone can take part, whether they are dining there or getting curbside to go, whether they are volunteering or paying nothing right now, or whether they are donating and paying more. So I really feel A Place at the Table is this community movement that the community will not let this go away. They are going to support this and really support everyone that takes part in it. So that to answer your question, Wake County has made A Place at the Table happen every single day and still continues to.
What else can the community do to help keep it going and to help continue it long into the future?
Yeah, we would love y'all to just come and eat with us. Come and get curbside. Come and chat with people in line. And we just have some great people. Come and support us that way and just be present with us and keep this community movement going.
What kind of food do you guys serve?
Oh, the best food. Because I don't cook. And again, you hire really great people that don't that do a lot of things better than you. And so we have a head chef who's amazing. His name is Andrew, and he has a huge menu he has 5 line cooks or sous chefs. And so they do everything from a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit that is probably like the fluffiest biscuit the size of my head, to a buffalo chicken sandwich, to my favorite is we have these awesome Pop-Tarts and these baked goods that are amazing. Yes, Pop-Tarts. I made sure Kellogg's was okay with it. But we just have great baked goods. We have soups. We have a wide variety, so breakfast and lunch.
What would be like your advice to young or other people that are trying to help out the community in a similar way?
Yes. My advice to young folks in this community is get involved and start talking to people and go see what you're passionate about. One of my favorite theologians said, your passion meets halfway with the world's greatest need. And I believe that. Whatever your passion is go find it. The world needs you. Those nonprofits need you. People need you. And then I think second is talk to people and ask for help. If there's something you want to do, if there's something you want to be a part of, people in this community, any community you're in, want to support you. We are not supposed to do this on our own. I don't think entrepreneurship is a one-person show. I think a place at the table is only possible because we had so many great people get involved. We're not supposed to be good at it all. So lean on your community. Community is meant to help you, and we're supposed to work together in this world to make change and good things happen. And life's just better when we're in community. So that's what I would say. I mean, and I think 3, what I always think about is we all have different paths of where we're going. There's no right or wrong. And I think that it is okay to choose your own path and go and follow that passion, right? Like, we don't have to all follow the steps that everyone else follows. We all have very unique journeys, and to be okay with that and to own that and be proud of that.
Were there any role models or people who inspired you?
Oh, so many. I can't even count on 2 hands how many people have encouraged me, inspired me, been mentors to me. But I was thinking of educators, and I thought of one of my teachers in middle school. I was pretty terrible at math, really, really terrible. I still am. That's not my jam. And like I said, you find people who are good at math, because you will need them. So I have that now. But back in the day, my teacher at Westmore Middle School, and I think it was 6th or 7th grade, her name was Miss Andres, and she was so tough. I mean, I think I probably really disliked her in the moment because she was so hard, but she believed in me and pushed me and did not make it easy for me. And what I learned from that is just this resilience and belief in myself that I could overcome something so challenging. And so she has now come into a place at the table, and I've seen her, and I have thanked her for that. But I just remember that class, and I'll never forget it, because she believed that I could do it. And just like so many people believed I could do table. I'd also say I have, one of my heroes is, her name is Wendy Clark, and she is a detective in Downtown Raleigh. And she, ever since I was in college, I met her. She was a detective and police officer working with people directly experiencing poverty. So she was, her main hub was at the bus station and around there. And her love for people who were some of the most unloved people. They were experiencing homelessness. They were just people that weren't seen. Her love for people just really inspired me, and so we're still good friends now. And she's been such a role model to me to say, like, look out for everyone, and let's love all of our people.
You focus a lot on being seen and seeing all of these people. What would you say the best way for everyone else to focus on seeing these people and just including everyone, no matter where they are?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Thank you for that question. I think being present with people. I think we all want to be seen. We all want to be heard. We all want to have value, and we all want to see and hear and love other people too. And so I think just being present with people and hearing them and letting people in, it just makes a huge difference in everyone's life. I think even just putting having a smile on your face when you see someone in the grocery store, or you say hello to someone, how are you doing today? That can make a huge difference. You could be the only person they talk to that whole day. At a place at the table, we have folks that have not talked to people probably from, we close on Sunday afternoon through Wednesday morning, and they may not have talked to a single human those 3 days, but when they come in, they know that they are welcome and that they will be seen and called by name, and there's value in that. So I think even this, as simple as saying hi to someone or smiling at someone, it can make a huge difference in someone's life.
Do you have any other goals or bucket list for your life that you want to accomplish?
Great question. Sleep. I'd love to sleep for a couple years. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I want Table to continue to thrive, and I have so much hope for Table post-COVID that we will just be better as ever and building this awesome community and feeding so many more folks as we come out of this pandemic in the next couple years. I'd love to find the awesome next successor that's going to come in and take this place over. I think that there is some other amazing leader out there that is going to make this an even better cafe. And so I don't know. I just hope that we just continue to build Wake County and make it more connected and more equitable and more inclusive. And I just want to be a part of that. And I feel lucky to be a part of that. And so, yeah, I'm excited to see what's to come.
Do you do any at-home cooking or baking?
No. No. I used to love to bake, but I make a lot of eggs, which is ironic because I work in a egg place, a place that serves eggs. I make a lot of eggs. I eat a lot of peanut butter. I eat a lot of Two Roosters ice cream. So no, I don't really cook much. I love to cook for people. So when people come over, I love to cook for people because it's a part of my just love language. But for myself, I don't cook too much.
So I know that opening a business or restaurant is very difficult. When did you see a place at the table and realize it's a success and that it happened?
Yeah. The fact that it just worked from day one was so shocking to me, right? I think about a month or so in, I sat back for a second and I saw at the community table, I saw someone I know who sleeps under a bridge, someone I know that lives in low-income housing with their kids, and then someone I know who I go to the gym with, and then someone on city council, all sitting at this community table and chatting, right? And they all come from totally different backgrounds and different lives, but I just sat back and I said, oh my gosh, this is real. People want to connect and they, right? They have more in common than they think, and this is why we're here.